Insulating the loft. If your home has a loft, the loss of heat which escapes through the ceiling could be substantially reduced by insulating your loft floor. If there is easy access to the loft, then this can be a relatively simple job. For more information on getting your loft insulated, listen to Section 4. Safety. Never sit too close to fires. Put guards on all open fires. Don't dry wet clothes on or close to heaters. Apart from the fire risk involved, this could allow the spread of moist air to the rest of the house and might lead to condensation problems. British Gas will do free safety checks for people aged 60 or over, and some electricity companies will visit your home and advise you. Always remember to ask for identification from any caller before you open the door. If you are disabled or have problems with your eyesight, your gas or electricity company may be able to supply you with devices to help you to operate heating and cooking appliances. Remember, always leave sufficient ventilation to keep the air fresh and for gas and coal fires to burn safely. Never block ventilation bricks. Using heating wisely. If you have central heating, 1. Ensure that you are familiar with any heating controls the system may have, such as a time clock or programmer. If you have any difficulties, ask someone you know and trust to explain them to you. 2. Set the heating thermostat at a temperature which you find comfortable. As a general rule, older people should set the heating thermostat at between 21 to 23 degrees Celsius, which is 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, to prevent cold-related illness. Below 16 degrees Celsius, which is 61 degrees Fahrenheit, there is a greater risk of respiratory illness, and below 12 degrees Celsius, which is 54 degrees Fahrenheit, there is increased risk of having a stroke or heart attack. The risk of developing hypothermia increases if your house temperature drops below 9 degrees Celsius, which is 48 degrees Fahrenheit, for more than a few hours. If you then find the room getting too hot, don't open the windows. Instead, turn the thermostat setting down a degree or two. 3. You should set the timer so that the system switches on at 21 to 23 degrees Celsius, which is 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, the recommended temperature a few hours before rising in the morning, and turns off when you normally go to bed. 4. If you want to warm rooms in very cold temperatures, set the heating to come on earlier rather than turning it up higher. 5. If you have a boiler, have it serviced once a year to ensure it is running at peak efficiency and is safe. 6. You can buy specially prepared reflective backing from DIY shops to place behind radiators to reflect heat. This is padded for extra effect. Alternatively, put kitchen foil, shiny side facing you, behind any radiators fitted on outside walls. 7. Fix small shelves about 2 inches above the radiators. This will push warm air towards the center of the room. If your home is heated by individual fires or heaters, try to choose heaters which give out enough heat to suit the size of the room. If you are buying a new heater, showroom staff or an energy advice center should be able to advise on this. If you are a tenant, check with your landlord that there are no restrictions on the types of heater permitted in your home. There may be special safety regulations, especially in blocks of flats. If you are buying an electric heater, ensure it has a built-in thermostat. This type of heater will shut itself off when the room is warm enough, and then switch on again once the temperature has cooled. Alternatively, you could use a 3-pin plug with a built-in thermostat available from electrical retailers. Remember that standard electric fires, such as electric bar fires and fan heaters, are particularly costly to run. Check whether an off-peak electric storage heater or a gas fire might be a better choice. If you have an open fire, you should keep the grate filled with a 3 to 4 inch layer of fuel and regulate the burning rate by carefully using the air control at the front of the grate. Get advice on how to make the most of your heating system. Ask your gas or electricity company, local energy advice centre, or the Gas Consumers Council, who can offer independent energy efficiency advice and provide details of running costs on a wide range of gas fires and heaters. If you are on a low income, or you or your spouse are aged 60 or over, you can get free energy advice as part of the HEES scheme. Refer to the following section, Help to Make Your Home Warmer, for details.
Section 4. Help to make your home warmer. Draft-proofing your doors and windows and insulating your loft and water tanks are all improvements which are easy to make and which can help to make your home warmer. They can also help you to save money on your fuel bill, and because they are not expensive improvements, they are well worth doing and will pay for themselves in a reasonably short time. If you cannot do the work yourself, you can contact an organisation in your area that specialises in this kind of home insulation work. They may be able to give you free advice on using energy efficiently and do the practical insulation work for you. Contact the Energy Action Grants Agency, EAGA. Free Post, P.O. Box 1NG, Newcastle upon Tyne, NE 992RP, or telephone free 0800 181 667. EAGA also has a Minicom number for the deaf, 0191 233 1054. If you are on a low income, or you or your spouse are 60 or over, the Energy Efficiency Office's Home Energy Efficiency Scheme, HEES or HEES, provides grants to people on low incomes or who are aged 60 or over for basic home insulation, whether they rent, own or are buying their own home. It's administered by the Energy Action Grants Agency. If you receive income support, housing benefit, rent rebate, family credit, council tax benefit, disability working allowance, disability living allowance, or you and your spouse are 60 or over, you can apply for a grant, which will cover the cost of having your doors and windows draft-proofed and having the loft, pipes and water tanks insulated, or most of the cost of the materials if you do the job yourself. You should not normally have to pay anything towards the costs of loft insulation and draft-proofing of doors and windows unless your home is particularly large. The current government grants allow up to £198.70 for loft insulation, up to £128.50 for draft-proofing, or up to £305 for both jobs combined. In addition, free advice on energy efficiency is available if you have either of the above jobs done. You can get a local network installer to do the work for you, or you can fit the materials yourself. Network installers specialise in providing energy efficiency services to low-income households. They will be able to tell you on the spot whether you qualify for a grant and when they can do the work. They can also provide you with free advice on the efficient use of energy. If you wish to apply for a grant and want to do the work yourself, you will first have to get approval from the Energy Action Grants Agency, EAGA. Free Post, P.O. Box 1NG, Newcastle upon Tyne, NE 99 2RP, or telephone free 0800 181 667. EAGA also has a Minicom number for the deaf, 0191 233 1054. Remember, you should not have any work done until you have received approval from the EAGA or a network installer. However, most people prefer to let the network installer do the work. They will use top-quality materials guaranteed for 10 years, and their work is inspected on a regular basis by the Energy Action Grants Agency to ensure high technical standards. Grants to improve or repair your home. If you are an owner-occupier, a private tenant, or a housing association tenant and your income is low, your local council may be able to offer you financial help to make your home warmer. Renovation grants. You might be able to claim a renovation grant for a wide range of insulation measures and/or home heating, together with other repairs and improvements. Grants are awarded at the discretion of the council. The amount will depend on your household income and on some of your savings, which will need to be assessed by the council. If your income is low, you might receive a grant to cover the full cost of the works. The higher your income, the more you yourself would be expected to pay. Minor works assistance. If you are an owner-occupier or private tenant or housing association tenant, and you receive income support, family credit, housing benefit, council tax benefit or disability working allowance, you might be eligible for a minor works grant. These may be for improvements to the quality of insulation in your home and are awarded at the discretion of your local council. Work may include draft proofing and insulation of lofts, walls, water tanks and pipes. The grant would cover the full cost of the insulation work up to a maximum of £1,080 on any one claim, with a maximum of £3,240 being claimable within any 3-year period. Special help for older homeowners and tenants. If, in addition to receiving the benefits mentioned, you are also aged 60 or over, then minor works assistance could be available to cover not only the cost of insulation, but also any minor works of repair, improvement or adaptation, including heating installations, to enable you to stay in your home in comfort. Disabled facilities grants. Local authorities can make grants to provide certain facilities for disabled people. These grants may be claimed by owner-occupiers and tenants, including council tenants, and used for improving any existing heating system, or, where none exists, installing a new system suitable to meet the special needs of a disabled person. How to apply for these grants. Your local council will be able to tell you whether you are likely to get one of these grants and also which grant would be most appropriate for you. You can get an application form from the council, which must then be completed by an owner or tenant of the property for which the grant is wanted. You should contact the council before you start any work, otherwise you may not get a grant at all. Also, the council will want to check that the work has been completed satisfactorily before they pay the grant. They therefore might want to inspect your property at some stage, before or after the work is finished. However, always make sure you know who is asking for access to your home, and ask to see clear identification before you let anyone in. Further details are in the Department of the Environment's booklets called House Renovation Grants and Help for Disabled People with Adaptations and Other Works, which you can get free from your council or from local advice centres. Do not start work before the council has written to say that you may go ahead. If you do, the grant will not be paid. If you are a council tenant, although the council cannot offer you one of these grants, they may instead be able to provide the materials and carry out the work for you. However, the exception to this is the Disabled Facilities Grant, which can be claimed by council tenants as well as by private tenants and owner-occupiers. That is the end of side 1. Please turn over now. We shall continue on side 2.